Okay, we're good.
Ready?
Mhm.
Stand for the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please keep standing for a minute or so. I'd like to have a moment of silence for Donna Wislowski, who served as a custodian at the district for 9.5 years, and for Norm Liskuski, who passed away this morning or this afternoon. He was a security guard in the district for over 10 years. So I'd like a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call, please.
President, Mr. Persing.
Here.
Vice President, Mrs. Hovenstein. Secretary, Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Treasurer, Mrs. Scandal.
Here.
Mr. Griffiths. Mr. Kashner.
Here.
Mr. Shuey.
Here.
Mrs. Smoogen.
Here.
Mr. Sisneski.
Here. Okay, recognize students' accomplishments.
Okay, we have
Do
our
we have it?
Students of the Month, which will be done virtually this evening. So if we're ready, Ben? Okay.
Hello, my name is Joshua Bachel. I'm a senior here at Shamokin area for the AV department. And today I'm going to be interviewing our middle school and high school students of the month. So, starting off with high school, if you could tell me your name and your grade.
I'm Carter Smith. I am a junior here at Shamokin Area High School.
Awesome. Now, are you involved in any sports or clubs?
Yes, I am. I am involved in environmental club, and I also play soccer and track and field.
Awesome. And how many years have you been doing that for?
Soccer has been ever since middle school, way before that.
Been into it.
Yeah, and track and field I started last year, but that got canceled because of COVID. Sorry, but it was good.
Good. Do you have any hobbies? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, I do. I love playing soccer. That's my main sport. I played that for a club called Keystone FC outside of school. I play soccer for school. I like to exercise a lot, go on runs, lift weights, that stuff.
Right.
I like playing video games. It's a fun pastime to do to release some stress. And I like to travel, although that has also been difficult since last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, switching a little bit here, what is your favorite class and what is your most recent takeaway from it?
My favorite class is Spanish class, just because it's almost multifaceted, where I get to learn a new language while also learning about different cultures and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you have a favorite Spanish teacher? They will not see this, so they will not know.
Okay, it has to be Miss Dunmore because I've had her since freshman year, so I never got to experience Mr. GK, but.
Okay. Well, you've heard it here, TK, your job is in jeopardy. I'm sorry, I will land the last in his hands now. We are going to end with this. Can you tell me your favorite quote?
Yes, I can. The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas and still retain the ability to function.
Brilliant. And that's our high school of the month. So we're now joined by our November high school student of the month. We could start off by giving your name and your grade.
My name is Gary Kitchen, and I am in 11th grade.
Awesome. And just jumping right into this, are you involved in any sports or clubs?
Yeah, I'm in a lot. I'm on the football team, the wrestling team, track team. I'm in band and chorus.
Do you have a favorite?
Football?
Just kidding. What are some of your hobbies?
I like to lift a lot. You know, I have Bible study on my Sundays, go to church.
Yeah, so you're a pretty all-rounded person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
You're a pretty good person.
Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
Now, what is your favorite class, and what was one of your most recent takeaways from it?
I very much enjoyed my health class.
Really?
We recently went over the Smart Future activities,
Mhm.
which has allowed me to figure out what career I want to be in.
Right, so you think that it's been very beneficial for you?
Yeah, it's been very helpful.
Mr. Z's really helped you along the way there?
He's a good man, good guy,
He's a very good man.
very good teacher.
Doesn't get his due credit. And just wrapping things up today, could you give us a solid quote?
Yeah. Coach Howie, he told me, every wrestling match, take him to the candy shop.
Well, you're here, folks. Take it to the candy shop. Okay, so next up, we're gonna move on to our middle school student of the month. You can start by giving us your name and grade.
My name is Aiden Santor. I'm in eighth grade.
All right, perfect. To get right into this, are you involved in any clubs or sports?
I play baseball.
Awesome. Do you have any hobbies?
I like fishing, hiking, biking, just like video game stuff.
Just enjoy life, exactly. What is your favorite class, and what are some of your takeaways from this class?
I like history, you get to learn about countries past and all the interesting stuff.
Right. Are there any teachers in particular that you really, history teachers?
Crossley.
Crossley, absolutely, that's like the go, I already knew yours before you said it. And we're gonna end with just a quote. Do you have a favorite quote?
My favorite quote is, "The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow."
It's very insightful, and that is our middle school student of the month. I am joined now with the middle school student of the month. We can start off by just giving your name and what grade you're in.
I'm Lily Dormer and I'm in 7th grade.
Perfect. And are you involved in any sports or clubs?
I'm not in any clubs, but I do soccer, basketball, track, and cross country.
Do you have one you like to focus on the most? Do you have like a preference or
My favorite one I do is basketball.
basketball? That's great. What are some of your hobbies?
I like to go outside and I like hiking and I like swimming in my swimming pool.
Oh, that's fun. And what is your favorite class? And building on that, can you give us one of your recent takeaways from it?
I like history a lot. I just like learning about how it was back then and it's just very interesting to me.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
All right, at this time, we'll entertain some citizens' comments. Chris, if we have any?
Okay, check it out. Give a minute or two and see if anybody sends an email. Looks like we don't have anything, so.
We'll come back.
We'll come back if anything. Yep.
Okay, let's go into work session agenda, Chris.
Just want to mention, this month is School Board Member Appreciation Month, the month of January. So I have a little statement that I'd like to read, and we have some certificates that we'd like to pass out to the board members. So I will read what we have here, and then we'll get those out to everybody. A quality public education is a key that can open doors of opportunity for many students. Providing that education takes a team of committed people, from educators and staff to parents and administrators. Oftentimes, however, we forget about another key component of our school system, which are the 9 members of our local school board. You all are an important part of the team, making informed decisions that direct the course of our Shamokin area schools and students. Every January, we like to take time to celebrate and recognize the challenging and vital work that the 9 of you do on behalf of our students, families, and community. On average, school directors devote up to 10 hours per month to the complex responsibilities of board business, including adopting policy, voting on budgets, evaluating school security issues, and reviewing hiring decisions. The impact of COVID has added an additional challenge to school boards as they determine how best to provide for the needs of students and families in this new environment. From navigating these virtual board meetings to supplying students with needed food and technology during remote instruction, boards have been asked and tasked with making critical decisions quickly with the best information available. Board service, of course, is an unpaid position, and the majority of school directors cite their desire to give back or contribute to public education as their main motivation for service. As locally elected officials, school directors are invested in their communities. There are neighbors, friends, local leaders, parents, and engaged citizens. During this month of recognition, I would like to take this time to express my gratitude and on behalf of our administration for your time and efforts. The job you do ensures that our schools continue to provide opportunities for success for every student, even during these unprecedented times. So I just want to say on behalf of myself, the administration, and everybody else associated with Shamokin Area School District, thank you for all that you do. It's wonderful to work with all 9 of you. And it's great to see how when 9 people put their heads together in a room, what we can accomplish. So thank you for all that you do and making my life a little bit easier. So thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Chris. All right, we'll go into the agenda now. We'll go into old business. I need a motion to approve the board meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Need a motion to accept the treasurer's report? On the question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? We have 1 opposed. I need a motion to authorize payment of bills.
Motion.
Second. On the question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Sisneski,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Kashner,
Yes.
Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugin.
Yes.
Any correspondence, Chris?
None.
None? Okay, with that, we'll go into new business. I need a motion to acknowledge student and/or staff accomplishments.
Motion.
As you just saw in the video, our student of the month, Garrett Kitchen, 11th grade, and Lily Dormer, 7th grade for November. December, Carter Smink, 11th grade, and Aiden Sander, 8th grade. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to approve the Act 1 resolution.
Motion.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Kashner, Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugin,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski.
Yes.
Need a motion to adopt the revised policies.
Motion.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Kashner,
Yes.
Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugin,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
I need a motion to acknowledge the first reading of the new and revised policies.
Motion.
Second, we got a second. Roll call. On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugin,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
I need a motion to approve and adopt the school calendar.
Motion.
Second.
On the question, anybody? Roll call.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugin,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Kashner,
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the curriculum.
Motion. Second.
Second.
Not a question. Roll call.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugin,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Kashner,
Yes.
Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve all contracts and agreements.
Motion.
Second. On the question, roll call.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the speech and language practicum? Practicum.
Motion.
Second.
On the question, roll call.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner. Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Need a motion to revive the mileage reimbursement rate.
Motion. Second.
On the question, roll call.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes. I need a motion to increase the prices for the adult meals.
So moved. Second.
On the question, roll call.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Need a motion to reappoint the delegates for Act 32 Tax Committee.
Motion.
Second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the veterans exemption request. Oh,
Right? Is it
Oh,
No, this is-
Approve, the bottom
Seven-
one is
7.1.
disapproved.
just-
Yeah, we're on 1, 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're on
That's-
12.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
Motion.
Second.
On the question, roll call.
That's a motion to approve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
We don't do 713 now, right? We just approved that, right? Is that the same
No.
one?
Different.
Oh, it's a different one, okay. Okay, I need a motion to approve or disapprove the exoneration request. Okay, yeah.
Motion.
Approve?
And disapprove as indicated.
Oh, okay.
They're just
All
gonna say
right,
it's
okay.
fine.
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve assignments for the student teacher.
Motion.
Second. On the question? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to request for a RFP for transportation.
Motion.
Second.
On the question? All those in favor? Those opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to adopt the LERTA ordinance.
Second.
On the question? Roll call, I'm sure.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner. Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
That's a long one.
So page 13.
So
717.
717.
Yep.
I need a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the district tax collector's audit reports.
Motion.
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the replacement of the football scoreboard signs.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Kashner,
Yes.
Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski.
Yes. Okay, we'll go into the personnel agenda. Oh, I need a motion to approve all items in 8.01 through 8.33 as listed.
Motion.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Kashner,
Yes.
Mr. Persing,
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal,
Yes.
Mr. Shuey,
Yes.
Mrs. Smugian,
Yes.
Mr. Sisneski,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to board members' reports. Eric, you're up.
Yes, I'd like to recognize one of our faculty. Our band director, Kevin Steyer, was selected as one of 300 band directors to march in the 2022 Rose Bowl Parade. So in an unprecedented event, they're going to have 300 band directors from across the country march. It's 5.5 miles, so I don't envy him for it, but he's going to participate in a float that pays tribute to the exceptional instruction, character development, and inspiration provided by music educators everywhere. So I think this is well-deserved for Kevin. Thank you for everything you do for our school and our students. Good luck.
Anybody else? Laura?
We just missed this to congratulate Gavin DeGreen for
okay.
receiving a score of a 750 on his math SATs and he is a member of our 700 Club. That's also quite an accomplishment.
I did miss that.
Congratulations, Gavin.
Yeah, I'd
Charlie?
like to, on behalf of the Security Committee, I'd like to offer condolences to the family of Norm Lukowski, who sadly passed away today. When I was supervisor of security here, he was one of the employees, and he was, without a doubt, the most loyal and trustworthy and dependable employee that I ever had the pleasure of supervising. So, just like to extend condolences to the family.
Anybody else have anything? Chris, do we have any citizens' comments?
None.
None?
Nope.
Okay, with that, an executive session was held for personnel issues on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, from 6:04 PM to 8:17 PM, and Tuesday, January 19th, 2021, from 5:30 PM to 7:25 PM, prior to the regular monthly board meetings. We have no citizen comments. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Second, we are adjourned. Thank you.